mobaverse.io.
Yeah, gotta keep on moving no matter how hard it gets. Yeah, better move out the way cause I'm coming with harder hits. My head is as hard as a brick, but I'm harder than all of this. You better move, you might get knocked out. Knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out. Knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out. Knocked out.
Music licensing reimagined.
My heart on my sleeve, stress, shield my greed. That's how I get it, success ain't no giving. Some days I don't eat, I don't sleep. When I'm focused, I'm dangerous. They don't want it when I'm anxious. Ain't no limit till I tank.
We have our team.
Hello everyone. Showcase the team as per usual. Compositions, champions, etc. Go ahead and start with these boots here. We are going into those arcane boots as I said in the previous video. So that's why that way we can do increased AP damage and solidify the micro poke. So micro is talking about trade values or any micro instance, any small minute thing. We was hiding that forward bush there so we could land that stun to get some extra poke value. So I started both my 2, which does do stun value. Now if you can combo your skills, you'll notice you get AoE value on your 2. If you start with your 1 and you land a 2, it will spread to the rest of the nearby units, including the minions, so you can get extra wave clear. If you start 1 and then hit your 2, you'll notice the 2 spreads out into bouncing. And if you start with your 1 or 2 and then do an ult, your ult will come down twice, which does absurd damage. So the scaling on that ult is really nice. I can't see what that value is off the top of my head as I just came back to MLBB. But we are putting in some work here. We try to stun that out for a clutch save, and that worked out perfectly. Then we're just trying to land our basics because we're on cooldown and try to clap him to save him, and Hanabi picks up 2 assists and I get the 2 kills. So that's really good value there. Eudora is a monster everywhere. She's typically in the mid lane, kind of breaking the meta a little bit by bringing her to the support lane. But it's kind of like playing a Vera and AoV as support. It's kind of like playing a Dodgy as support. You'll notice in the last game with the Badang, Farsa was support. So it's not unheard of. It's definitely a sweatier tactic, a sneaky tactic to bring a mid lane into the game. And if they think that you're picking that earlier in the pick order, they might think that you're playing it mid lane, and you kind of got some mind game in the pick there where they might try to counter pick it with the Nana. For instance, this game, she probably thought, oh, I can deal with the Eudora, but then I'm not even in lane. And she's like, what? But then they're like, but they picked an Aurora, so which is it? So we got some mind game there in the picks as well by picking something that's not necessarily normal. But it doesn't mean that it's not viable. Obviously, it is working. So we try to secure this wave, push it out, try to deny them. They're doing a really good job freezing it before the turret so they can get that. Try to push them back. Hanabi tries to push them back as well. Get some double ult value there by hitting our skills in order to secure that double ultimate. Again, that has to do with the passive. So if you use your combos perfectly, you will get more damage, more stuns. So higher skill tier ceiling for sure. If you do it the right way, you will get more value. So we're looking good here. We picked up that penetration boots, and then we're going into the Holy Crystal. That is the highest damage AP item in the game. It's kind of like building Rabadons in the Wild Rift. Unfortunately, Nana comes out of nowhere and is like, I'm done with your shit. I can't believe you didn't want to play me in the middle lane. And I'm going to come in here and mess you guys up. I'm like, oh my gosh, Nana. Oh my gosh, Nana. But then Freya comes in here as a hero to save the day. Picks up a kill on that Nana and says, no, how dare you come in at them? They're winning the lane. And you're trying to mess them up. You don't want to play your lane state against this Aurora. Our Aurora with a 1-0. So she's refereeing here perfectly. Just realizing what's happening in the map. As I said, junglers are always watching. They are the referee. They see things happening and they try to negate your rotation or perhaps even bullying. They just try to even out the fight, you know, try to keep it fair. So come back to mid lane here, land that stun, get some damage, pull the aggro off of my Aurora. You don't necessarily want to waste her ult or her, rather, correction, her passive where she becomes untargetable like an icicle or something. So that's some outplay. So if you can save that from her, then it'll be used at more critical times. So try to keep in mind your opponents and your own teammates' skills so you can get better value from your own teammates as well. And then in terms of the enemies, you want to think about that in terms of getting it out of them, peeling those cooldowns, so that way you don't have to worry about it later, kind of like in the previous video with the Bedang, where we're just running in there all ape shit crazy, trying to see if we can get some peels. That way our team doesn't have to deal with that and can solidify some damage off of their cooldowns. So anytime your opponent has cooldowns is a good time that you can attack, because you will outplay just simply based on math, because you got more skills up than them. Aurora comes in with a beautiful ult, so I try to capitalize on that. She does a revitalize here, so I try to do some damage there. She gets that ult, and then I knew she was going to come back up, so I popped my revitalize. We had 3 revitalize on this team. Revitalize is a very, very powerful, very OP summoner spell. So the more revitalizes on the team, the better off you will be. You can literally just sit on one another and offset all the enemy damage if they come in with everything. So I'd like to see more revitalizes out of everyone. That makes sweatier games. Sweaty is fun. So really good team synergy there in terms of her popping the revitalize and me doing it afterwards in critical timing and critical outplay.
Follow my lead, okay?
You can see the Freya's going in there to try to kill this Nana, but that Nana got untargetable, but unfortunately she could not get away from Freya. Freya's like some angel force to not be reckoned with.
I choose to make my own fate.
Do not fuck with the Freya for short. Hanbi's just pushing up the wave here, as you can see. Picked up a couple kills. She's looking good with 4,300. The enemy teams have barely 3,000 to 35 at most. We got a 42, a 46, 4, 43, a 33 on the Belleric. So we're doing a really good job there. Following this Freya and the Aurora here. I see this guy caught out. I can't say I know his name off the top of my head, so he looks like a Z-Long, but that could be wrong, so don't quote me on that. Again, I'm not on MLBB all the time, so we're working at getting all that refreshed in my brain. So better commentaries will be common, as if this isn't even good, it is great. So Objective Realism, I can't say I'm telling you wrong. We are telling you all the right micro macro plays, and we are telling you how to do things in a perfect way to secure your analyzation, evolution, and the win, of course. So trust me, I know what I'm doing when it comes to the 5v5s or just the MOBAs in general. So I push forward there to stun that, see if we can supply some kill potential there. KP for short. And we push it out enough that they can get that tier 1 on the side lane there, which is great. Try to kill that wave so the next one pushes forward, so he has to babysit that. They noticed that the Nana was greeding for a tier 2 turret and fighting the Aurora, so Hanabi comes in from the side like a pro, being a ninja, using those guerrilla tactics like Tears of the Sun, as we referred to in the previous videos, and messes him up. So I noticed they're pretty good there with bringing 3 there to rebuke that carry and Este's combo. So I just take advantage of that and take this tier 1 mid to kind of trade it, because they had taken our tier 1 earlier. So we're just going to try to even out the map state here so we don't throw the macro. We do not want to throw the total lane state. We want to try to keep it even as much as possible or in our favor. That's typical macro. Just keep an eye on the map state. Keep an eye on the objectives. Win those team fights. Bring compositional value in terms of your champion selection so that synergizes with everyone. Try to zone this Estes out. He respects it and just walks away. He doesn't want to take any additional damage. Hanabi and Aurora are doing a good job to push them back further, so me and Belleric can take that tier 2 mid, get that out the way. I see Aurora getting attacked by this guy over here again. So I'm trying to solidify that stun. Any additional damage, just burst him down, going full combo. Trying to mind using my skills 1 and 2 first, so that way I get the double ultimate. Again, that is double the damage. So it's pretty critical as a Eudora that you definitely use your skills first. Don't just throw your ultimate out. That would definitely be a misplay. So I tried to mind my cooldowns. We talk about cooldown awareness. That would be trying to have your skills up at critical times, so that way you are a benefit of the team, not a liability. So just do your best to try to have your skills up. That way when it's time for do or die fights, critical team fights, you are ready to go. They grouped up there perfectly, so I dropped my stuff down on them and try to get multiple AoE value there on all my kits, while minding that I need to isolate specific targets with my CC on the 2. Freya comes in there like a beast, going apeshit crazy, and pulls out a Penta, a Maniac. Really good stuff. She's sitting at a 1204 with 9,000 gold, just overshadowing the whole enemy team with 43, 5, almost 6. She's got a 2k gold lead, over 2k gold lead over her opponents. She's really hard carrying this. So if you like games where hard carrying is still reality, kind of like Black Ops back in the day, or any of these FPS shooters on mobile phone, this is a game to play, to really shine, to have a spotlight, like Khalid Marshmallow, the spotlight. We all have a spotlight, and the key here is to be mindful of that spotlight and do your best for the team. At the end of the day, we need to face accountability for ourselves, have integrity, put our best foot forward, and do the best you can, be the best you can, be the best of me, in effects. We all have a destiny, and no matter what you do in your life, this is a task that will sharpen your mind, body, and soul, and that is something you can bring forward in all aspects of your life. Wax on, wax off, Mr. Miyagi. Really good damage there. As you can see, we're just putting in some work as a cohesive unit there, just sticking together nicely, but ready to kite away in case they start coming at us. Hanabi and I stay to get this tier 1 mid, the most important of the game, as we said. And Beleric and Aurora go to split push the secondary lane, as the other lane on the bottom is already pushed up. I'm kind of low, and I don't have my heal or revitalize, so I have to be kind of careful here. So clutch plays here. Really good value there. Beleric had a nice immortal there, where he comes back to life after 2.5 seconds. Correction. And so we just cover that and use it as some outplay, kind of like the Aurora with her passive, where she turns into a crystal and becomes untargetable as well. I unfortunately don't have anything else I can do, so I have to walk away. So that wasn't a condition where I could actually do something. But thankfully Beleric and Hanabi took advantage while we was distracting the team, peeling them away from their nexus, their final tower or objective, whatever you want to call it, nexus for short, or technically speaking. And they Master Thief, steal the end game, and GG's. So really good stuff on the enemy team, really good stuff on my team. That was a landslide match. It was definitely in our favor, but the enemy team did not let it go. They still tried to fight us. That Uranus was holding strong there with only 3 deaths. The carry again was only 4 deaths. 5 deaths on the Estes, 6 deaths on the Nana with untargetable. Again, she just kept getting picked off even with the untargetable, like when Freya went and outplayed her. 11 on the, I don't know what to say, his name is 777. Right, I think it's Zilong, but don't correct me, or don't quote me on that. Correct me if I'm wrong. You can do that in the comments. Anyways, 11's really high, but he did try to make some plays. He almost caught that Aurora, so it seems like he was just trying to come back from the game, and his team wasn't quite with them. So it's not that I'm throwing the enemy team under the bus. It's just he was trying to make some plays happen and solidify targets like the Aurora, and it just did not work out. So really good stuff again. 18-1 on that Freya in the jungle. Really good stuff. Really good stuff. Again, you can see my build Holy Crystal for maximum damage. Divine Glaive there for some penetration damage with stacking penetration as well. The Ice Queen Wand for that 10% slow that stacks up to 3 times. So it could be up to 30% slow if you're spamming your skills like I was. And then we go into an Enchanted Talisman for that regen on the mana. So I get to stay topped off on mana more often than not if I'm greeting my stay. So really good stuff. I will have the whole build in the beginning of the video as I usually do. 14-1 on that Belleric, really good stuff. 14-2 on the Aurora, really good stuff. A 13-3 on the Hanabi there, also really good stuff. So you can see everyone put in the work and we won. So GG's, WPs. Let's take a look at these stats real quick. You can see I was definitely playing support very strong. I had a 72% to 75 and 75 on the carry S days. So almost won the statistics for the team fight participation. Unfortunately, came 3% short against S days and carry, who was grouping up pretty much the entirety of the whole game. So they did really good work there with 75%. They was grouping more often than not, and grouping usually will solidify wins. Just be careful, because if you group too much, they might get sneaky and try to split push and start sidelining you, and you might be in trouble. But when that happens, if they're grouping up, all you got to do is just ping your teammates, hey, group up, let's work together. Let's try not to split push as much, and maybe we can fight them in a team fight. And sometimes that'll work out. It's all conditional to the compositions and your competency. So sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. Again, this is an evolving conditions game, so it may not. It's up to you to decide what critical plays to make and tilt the tide in your favor. So with that being said, those are the game stats. These are the builds. They do look like good builds, so I can't say someone did anything wrong, except for maybe the Zilong or whatever that guy's name is on the top for the enemy team. I don't know, he built tankiness, but he didn't have any damage, so that's why I'm kind of saying seems a bit off. He was definitely building really tanky, and those are two good items to build, as I said before. But when you're talking about perfect build in terms of itemization and optimization of said build, you definitely want to have some balance there. So having equal damage or equal tankiness is a good thing to keep in mind. I'm not trying to throw him on the bus. Those are definitely good items. I'm just saying some damage there might have made a difference when he was making those plays. So that being said, GG's to all, and to all have a good day and night. I will catch you in the next video. Till then, bye.